Well, Efrat Machikawa is one of the family members demanding the release of a loved one held hostage in Gaza. Her aunt Margalit and Uncle Gadi were both abducted on October 7th. Well, her aunt has since been returned in the prisoner exchange and hostage exchange back in November, but her uncle is still being held. And Efrat joins us live right now on CP24 from Israel. Thank you so much for joining us, Efrat. The last time you and I spoke was just shortly after the October 7th terror attacks, and I recall you describing the pain and the anguish and despair about not knowing about the status of your uncle and aunt. How would you describe what you and your family have been going through over these last 6 months?
Thank you very much for having me again. It is so hard to believe we're 6 months now in this horrifying nightmare. I'm actually standing here in the Arab village of Abu Ghosh on the way back from Jerusalem down to the south. Here with me are the signs I'm carrying for half a year now of my dear uncle. We are breathless. We have been fighting a just fight to bring our beloved ones back home. It has been very hard to wake up in the morning, but knowing those 100 and now 33 hostages left in Gaza are suffering so much more. We are waking up with much hope every day and a sense of responsibility that we have to tell the world the story, the personal stories of our beloved one. And unfortunately, we do have to also speak quite loud to our government. We are doing everything we can to make everybody understand there is no price for their lives and we have to bring them home. It's just incredible that this is what we have to do, but we do, and we will not give up. They will be back home.
Efrat, you mentioned the word hope, and I'm curious, with each passing day, week, and month, are you losing hope that, your uncle and the hostages won't be returned, or are you remaining optimistic that they will be freed?
I am considered one of the most optimistic within the family. But I have to tell you, the last weekend was a disastrous weekend.
Why?
Elad Katzir, our friend from Niroz, and the elder brother of my friend Karmit, was killed in captivity. The army has managed to recover his body, something that is now a very rare case, and we had a ceremony of burial, and it was awful. People are devastated. We are heartbroken. He was alive. He was healthy, and he was murdered in captivity, which is terrible. And that's Saturday, when we heard the news, I have to say I wasn't that hopeful. I woke up on Monday and I make myself believe in goodness. And I return to be a bit optimistic, but it's not the same optimism I had 4 or 5 months ago, I have to admit.
Efrat, we're showing some pictures right now of a rally that you were at probably just over an hour ago in Jerusalem, and I know you've been involved in a lot of advocacy on behalf of the hostages in Israel. Tell us about some of the work that you've been doing to raise awareness about the hostages, but also what are you hearing from Israeli officials about their efforts to rescue the hostages?
I have been very, very active. I don't know if you heard of the civil shipment of medicine to Gaza, both to the kidnapped and to Arab children, Palestinian children sick with cancer. So I was one of the leaders of that operation. We have worked very, very hard. We know that many of our hostages are very sick, wounded, or chronically ill. So we're very worried about that. We have been doing so many things in protest, in trying to get and raise international awareness. The friendship and the support of the Canadians and the citizens of the world is very important for us. We fight a just fight, and we do need your support. We need to bring them home in order to be able to face whatever comes next and whatever we need to rethink and reconsider about the day after the war. But the first thing has to be to bring them back. And I must say, we're all very active here. But we came to a point where we do demand for our government to do the right thing. They should do whatever they can to bring them back.
Efrat, I only have a little bit of time left, but I wanted to ask you about your Aunt Marguerite. She was one of the hostages that was released back in November. How is she doing? And what has she told you about her time in captivity that you're able to share with us?
Marguerite is an extraordinary, strong lady. She is an inspiration to all of us. She is holding up. She was living with us for a month and a half, and now she moved to her own apartment. She cannot go back to her house. It's all gone. The whole village is gone. And she is taking it step by step, and she is now helping to try and restore her community. And she is incredible. She's very, very strong. It was tough. It was very, very tough for her there. But she was in only for 49 days. We are now on 186 days. So we have no idea about the others. We want them back. They have to be back for the sake of humanity and for the sake of the state of Israel.
Efrat Machikawa, we really appreciate your time. Thank you for joining us on CP24, and I hope that the next time we chat, we'll be talking about the safe return of your uncle and all the hostages.
Highly appreciated. Thank you very much. Thank you. All the best.